The Mark 8.5 Golf GTI UK configurator is now available. I'm filming this on the 20th of June 2024. And yes, this is the first time I've sort of seen it and it's the first time I'm sort of checking it through. The UK configurator is available. So let's go through that for the GTI. I'm going to go through a bit of an in-depth, what sort of options you can spec for, how you can get it sort of like potentially below the £40,000 mark, and basically just go through everything around that. But yeah, super happy to kind of see it here and to share it with you guys. And yeah, let's get straight into this and build the Golf GTI, as you can kind of see here. And yeah, the big news that I kind of shared yesterday was that the price of the car starts from 38,900, which keeps it below the £40,000 tax mark. But I'm really interested to know how much certain options cost. So I'm really going to, go through this with you. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. And this is a community channel, so please feel free to get involved in the comments. It really does help other people out. And feel free to check out my channel as well. I've got plenty of content on here and you might find other videos useful as well. So yeah, check out that and subscribe. It really does help build the channel. It helps me work with manufacturers as well, because they look at the subscribers and just enables me to produce more content for you all. So yeah, with that said, the Golf GTI. So I'm really excited to go through this because I've gone through this in the German configurator, but I've yet to go through this in the UK because it has not been there. And first of all, it's quite interesting that they've got this car kind of shown straight away, because it's in like a grey by the looks of it. What colour is that in? It sort of started it off in a different colour actually, which is quite interesting actually. Let's just briefly go back and go to that, because that's interesting, because that's almost like the halo colour to go for. Okay, so Grenadilla Black Metallic, £730. That's just something that they've got shown as their sort of default. It does look very stealthy actually, and with the new facelift lights as well, they're almost like a clear lens kind of look to them, which looks very, very nice. Yeah, sort of getting that initial sort of feel of this car. It's certainly exciting to kind of see it. And yeah, I love the 4-quad lights and the red brake calipers too. It looks very, very exciting. But even with that option, which is kind of shown, it's straight up to 39,630. The Dolphin Grey Metallic is also £730, which is quite a lot. You've got premium paint. King's Red Metallic is £885, which brings it to £39,785. So basically, if you want a premium paint, you can only have that and no other options. That's essentially the main thing on that regard. You've also got Oryx White. Now that takes you above £40,000, so £1,220, but it's a very nice colour. I loved them on the Mark 7 Golf R's, and yeah, I think it's a great colour. The solid paints. So I wonder what the free colour is. So Moonstone Grey is £435, so a bit more reasonable. You've then got Pure White. It says additional costs might apply, but they certainly don't. An Urano Grey. So that was the colour that they had initially for the Golf, which actually looks all right. They're all solid paints, those three, with the Moonstone being a cost option. You've got the two-tone paint options, and these are quite exciting as well. So the Dolphin Grey Metallic Black, and what that does is it combines with the black roof. So if I just go briefly and show some of these images here, I don't know why they have the dark ones. They seem to have that before. You can see the black roof. That's the main change with these two-tone paints. You pay for it though, £1,235, and that will take you above the £40,000 mark. And just to note, even if you get a discount from VW on this, if the total price is above £40,000, you will pay that extra tax in the UK, which is more expensive. But if we go through the two-tone paint options, this is one of my favourite, the King's Red Metallic. Nearly £1,400, but you can see the black roof there. That's kind of the main sort of difference, which is why I've kind of got it on this screenshot. You've then got it with Moonstone Grey and Black. That's quite interesting, £735, so a little bit less. The Oryx White with the black roof is £1,725. That is extremely expensive. That is like really, really expensive. But you're getting, as I show images of the interior, which I don't want to do, show images of the actual car. It's the most premium, most expensive paint you can get. I can imagine it would be very, very rare and something to seek out. And even if you're paying that sort of money for paint, you'd want to get some sort of protection for the front. I would, if I've spent nearly £2,000 on paint as an option, I would want some protection on that personally. Some sort of ceramic coating as well. Oyster silver metallic black. And it's interesting that you have to get that with the black. You can't get oyster silver on its own. I really do like the silver colour. Again, this is all kind of subjective, and let me know in the comments what you guys how you would specify yours, and if you're thinking of getting one. It is a community channel, so yeah, keen for people to get involved. And I'll certainly share more as well when I know it. And I'm actually looking forward to driving this car. And again, that's part of the subscribers as well. It enables me to get the access. I do have a okay relationship with Volkswagen, which is great. But they do look at the subscribers. So yeah, just subscribe. It really does help the channel. You have no idea what it means to it means to me, and it will obviously help you get better content. And this car looks cool, super cool. I'd love a colour that you'd never see on the road, something very unique. And these two-tone, particularly I'm looking at the Oyster Silver Black, the King's Red and the Oryx White. That's super, super cool. Pure white and black, so that's a solid paint colour with the black roof. And Urano Grey with a black roof. So those are the solid paints at a slightly cheaper price. But in short, most of these you could have one colour and not go 40 grand. But if you go for a premium paint, you will. Right, for me, you know what I'm going to go with, because it's a Golf GTI. King's Red Premium Metallic with the black roof. That's what I'm going to go with, because I think that works really well with the GTI, personally. I think it works well. And also, I believe they've got some black styling packs, which I think will work well. So we're now onto the wheels section. So let me change this up to see the wheels, because it's quite a good view. Now, from standard, you get the 18-inch Richmond wheels, so that's a non-cost option. But the new wheel that was introduced, which I'm surprised is not standard, straight away. So, here we go. So, as soon as you go for the 19-inch Queenstown wheels, you have to, which apparently are £1,270. It's quite a lot of money. Wow, that is a lot of money. Additional changes are necessary. You have to have the DCC, which is another £720. So that's interesting. So a few people were asking me in the comments what sort of options you'd go for, and I almost always say, DCC is a very good one, dynamic chassis control. It means you can go from comfort suspension to more firmer suspension. I believe it's 15 options you can choose from. If you want that on its own, it's £720. So basically, if you want a Golf GTI with DCC, you have to just go for that and nothing else, no colour options, no anything, if you want it below 40 grand. If you're not too bothered about spilling over, world's your oyster, really. But it's interesting, because that means it ups the price. It's another 2 grand then. If you basically want these 19-inch wheels, you pay £2,000. It's a £2,000 option. That's quite extortionate to me, personally. They look quite nice, though. Interested to know what you think about them. They were shown on the Club Sport as well. So they do look nice. They do look nice. I'm not denying it. You've got some other wheels to choose from. Okay, if you go for the 19-inch Estrals, you don't have to have the DCC. They're £1,350. Very confusing. I'm sure you can potentially add the DCC on as an option to these Estrals. These are ones which are on the Golf R as well. They look pretty special. Let me blow that up so you can get a better view of it as well. There's the Estral wheels without the DCC, just for you to see. There we go. And the final wheel is the Estrals in black. I think it looks like a proper stealthy car then. There you go, the Estrals in black. But interested to know if you can select DCC. And I might actually just skip to seeing that, just to see if you can. I kind of like it in... GTI is a bit more classier, isn't it? Let's just go for the normal Estrals for now. Although my preference would be the Queenstown. I think that suits the GTI more, where the Estrals suit the Golf R. So this is probably what I would go for. But just for you guys, because I want to know if you can still select DCC. That's what I want to show. So that's where we're at in the first step of the car. Interior, well, luckily this isn't going to take too long because it's just one spec standard interior. I wonder if you will have an option of the leather seats. I'm sure you will. Apologies if it's too dark inside here, but I can't do anything about the lighting with the VW. Got the tartan seats. Very nice automatic gearbox in the Golf GTI. I don't think I've even mentioned about the spec, and yeah, I've spoken about this car so much. Yeah, this is increased by 20 horsepower, so it's 265 PS from the 2-litre EA AAA engine, 4-cylinder trusted engine, front-wheel drive only, and 7-speed DSG only. You also get some additional updates with the infotainment, which I've tried and shared on my channel as well. I tried one of the first Mark 8.5 Golfs that came into the UK, literally off the port from Germany, from Volkswagen, and you get the touch haptic buttons as well. Or not, so you've removed the haptic buttons and you now get physical buttons, which are essentially exactly the same ones which are in my Mark 7 Golf R from 2017. And they're really good. They work. So that's just something that you've got to think of. And those are some of that's the main benefits of the Golf GTI, the Mark 8.5 facelift. Some of the looks are a bit more, yeah, it's hard to tell between them, between this and a Mark 8. But let's move on to the options, because there's going to be quite a few to go through, I can imagine here. So stay with me, because I'm new. This is the first time I've seen this as well, so we're working through this together. Let's go. So light and sight pack is standard equipment, so I don't even know why it says that. Auto dimming rear view mirror and rain sensor, fine. Tilting and sliding panoramic roof. So with that you get LED reading lights, 2 in the front and 2 in the rear, with switch off delay and dimmer. Tilting and sliding panoramic roof. I'm going to go for the full spec of this because, well, we're configuring it, and I want to give you that best impression. That's what it looks like with the pan roof. Let me blow it up so you can see it again a little bit better. So it works quite well with the contrast of the King's Red Metallic with the two-tone black paint. I'm never massively a big fan of a pan roof with a little bit of red there. I don't know. It just kind of tones it down a little bit for me. Yeah, there's so many options you can kind of go for. Wow, there is so many options. This car is looking quite good at the moment. I don't know why they have those darker images. No one can see anything from them. There you go. And obviously with the pan roof open is the classic look for showing you've got a premium Golf GTI. Winter pack is standard equipment. So just to let you know, that panoramic roof is £1,220 option. The winter pack comes with heated seats, leather-wrapped heated multifunction sports steering wheel with touch control and shift paddles. That's interesting. Touch control. So that's as standard with the heated front seats and stuff. The winter pack, that's nice. Driver assistance. So good news. You can select the DCC for £720, which gives you the driver profile selection, shock absorption in the front, sports suspension. It's mandatory for the Queenstown alloy wheels. You don't have to have it if you go for the Estrals. That's interesting. So if you want the Queenstown alloy wheels, you're paying a lot more and you have to get that. But then it has another option which says adaptive chassis control in combination with 19-inch wheels. Now the Estrals are 19-inch wheels, so comment below, what does that mean? So you have to have. So that makes me really, really curious now, really curious, because it's almost like they've done the setup specifically with the Queenstown. And actually that would probably sway me. That would probably sway me going for the Queenstown, because if you want a car to drive really well, which you want a GTI, you would want something to be in connection to it. The tyres and the wheels are so fundamentally important to the car. Yeah, well, that's interesting to know about. Adaptive cruise control with speed limiter and front assist, autonomous braking, that's all standard equipment. I believe that's sort of mandatory now, you have to have them. Rear view camera system, I'd say yes, but I imagine this is going to come as part of a package, so it might disconnect this, £325. Are you keeping up with the costs? Because I'll share it at the end on this. Driver assistance package, DSG engines only. Well, the GTI is only available in DSG. Lane assist, traffic jam assist and emergency assist, proactive passenger protection system as well. Yeah. That comes anyway standard. Folding trailer hatch with electric release. What happens if I add that? Does it do anything? Oh yeah, there you go. You get the... Apparently this folds in. Sorry, I'm laughing at it, but it just looks strange on a GTI. Wow, well, okay, if you wanted to do everything with your GTI, I'm not going to select that. Heads up display, so let's get ourselves all prepared for the interior shot of this. And dun, 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 dun. There we go. So heads up display. Hey, it does change. You can just about see that. Wow. There we go. So that's nice. It's quite a big screen. And actually, it's quite nice because I know in the focus you get something that pops up. This just looks like it's sort of beamed on through a sensor rather than that sort of this little like glass panel appears for the heads-up display on the Ford Focus, the ST, that I've shared a lot on the channel as well. And again, check out future content. Well, check out previous content as well as future content on my channel. Yeah, if you enjoy this video, you'll likely enjoy other stuff. I love my hot hatches, and I love to share it too. Heads-up display, yeah, let's go for it. £580. Exterior. So the LED matrix headlamps are what comes as absolute standard. So just to let you know what that's all like as we go through the many images that Volkswagen have for us. The front lights are there, as you can see. So I'll blow that up a little bit. And what happens, that's as absolutely as standard, which gives you advanced dynamic lighting system, dynamic headlight range control, cornering lights, LED rear tail lights and dynamic turn signals, matrix LED headlights with automatic headlight control, poor weather light and entry lighting, Volkswagen logo in front, illuminating lighting animation with wake up goodbye scenario and illuminated door handles. So like a little disco going on. But if you want the exterior styling package black style with matrix LED headlights, you get all the matrix LED headlight stuff that you already get, plus it says advanced dynamic light assist for LED headlights, black exterior mirror housing, dynamic headlight range control, dynamic cornering lights, LED rear tail lights, dynamic turn signal, matrix LED headlights of automatic control, poor overlighting, rear tinted glass with B-pillar at approximately 65% tinted. So similar stuff, you're just really getting the styling package and you're paying £1,285 for that. There you go. And that's what happens. Everything goes a little bit tinted. And actually, I think if I disconnect that and put it back on, yeah, can you see how that's all white? Basically, and then when you just see it there, it's all, you can see the white bar across the side, and then if you put it on, you see how it just goes more tinted. You get the tinted around there. You lose the GTI red kind of bar. You get more tinted lights. You get that in black as well. It just becomes a little bit more stealthy. Yeah, I'm actually curious to know if the rear changes as well. Oh. Yeah, it's hard to tell, but I did notice a little bit of a change. So everything just gets a little bit more stealthy. I quite like that. I mean, 65% tint isn't like, blacked out completely. You can get 90% tints on the rear if you wanted. So, yeah. What do you guys think? Exterior black pack, or does it ruin what is a GTI with the red lights? Kind of does a little bit, doesn't it? I'm having second thoughts now. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I think a GTI, it's just so iconic with that bar. No, I'll keep it off actually for the second, but yeah, it's interesting to know what you guys would go for on that one. The sound system, the Harman Kardons are really good, but you get the standard navigation system, which is that big 12.9-inch screen, which I have gone through on my channel. I've shared it in depth. I'll leave that video kind of at the end for you guys to check out. 6 speakers, navigation system, voice enhancer, that's all the standard. If you want the Harman Kardon, which gives you better sound system, and actually I think it does change something in the inside. If we find that image for you as we go along, we find the image, here we go. We'll blow that up. Can you just see on that side? That's the Harman Kardons, and it actually really does add the premiumness, just it being there with the chrome around it, just shown there as well. Because if we take it off, it goes, and it just becomes a normal sort of speaker system. But they are good. They do sound good. 480 watts. If you're into your music, I would go for the HKs, the Harman Kardons. Optional interior upholstery. So this is where we're going to probably get a bit more expensive. £2,085. For that you get the Vienna leather outer seats, perforated heated front seats with memory feature and power adjustable driver's seat, active climate seats in front, heated and cooling functions. Now I have used the cooling function on a Mark 8.5 before, and it's brilliant. So that is a good feature to have. Door and side trim panel with leather insert. Okay, so it's not just the seats. They're changing the trim as well to be more leather. Heated front seats, leather wrapped heated multifunction sports steering wheel. I don't know if that's going to change. Power seat adjustment with memory feature for right seats, left seat manually height adjustable. Power adjustable lumbar support for right front seat. Seat trim covers in part Vienna leather with perforated insert. So I'm going to add this and we're going to see what changes we can see. Wow. Well, I think you can probably see the change there. You've got a much more lighter car as a result. You get the leather on the side and I believe a bit of cloth in the middle. It also said about more leather inserts. It's going to be really, really hard to tell on these images what really does change, but it says there's more leather on the side. It's just enhancing kind of everything. I think that's quite a good option, because if you take it off, you want a bright car, make things light. And yeah, they're good seats. It also brings it up in line, and of course the rear gets changed as well. A bit more like an Audi, I suppose, but you're more incognito in your Golf. This is for you kind of thing. Safety and security. Now, I'm not being funny, but why you're spending, I'm not going to tell you what the price is up to at this. You can make a prediction in the comments, actually, what you think the price is up to. You might be able to see it in the corner of the screen. If you're traveling with passengers, why wouldn't you go for curtain and side airbags? £310. No brainer. Safety. Go for it. Space and weight saving spare wheel. I would say go for that. Because it's better than having... I know it adds weight to the car, which I think adds to emissions and stuff. I think they actually do that now. But I would go for it because it's just so much more convenient if you did get a puncture on one of your 19-inch wheels. Volkswagen accessories, we're not going to go too much into that, I don't think, because it's just sort of like bicycle holder. Does that actually add it on? I didn't really notice any change. Just loads of little... door seal protector. That's quite interesting. I wonder how that protects it. Dynamic center caps. Really awkward prices. 141, 130. I don't know what any of these are, but they look quite cool. LED animated exterior mirror turn signal, dark tint, luggage net. Luggage net could be quite handy. Where was that picture that we had when they were opening the boot? That's the one. Luggage net. Oh, it doesn't really add it, but it's good. You can get a tracker, a Meta tracker, S5 VTS GPS vehicle tracker, mud flaps, mud flap front. Could be quite useful if you don't want to get your premium paint getting kicked out on. There are loads. Rear bumper protector. Oh, I don't know what changes there. Rear bumper protector, piano black lacquer. I'm not noticing any changes here. Carbon look. Wow, roof box, roof bars. I imagine all this stuff you can do, well, you definitely can do afterwards. Wheel insert, black, wow. I can't believe the amount of, there's a lot of accessories there, so feel free to check out the configurator after me on that, because there's loads. Right, let's go to our summary, because we've done it. This car specified in the way that I've specified it is £47,700. For that, we have gone for the King's Red Premium Black metallic paint option at £1,319. We've gone for the 19-inch Queenstown alloy wheels at £1,270. We've gone for the adaptive DCC with which has to happen with the Queenstown wheels, £720. The space-saving wheel, £300. Tilting and sliding panoramic roof, £1,220. Vienna leather seats with all the interior seats in leather and the cooling and the heating and everything funky with that. That's the most expensive option at £2,085. Although if you take into consideration you have to have the dynamic traction control with the 19-inch Queenstown, that's the most expensive at around £2,000. Heads-up displays, £580. Rear view cameras, £325. Harman Kardon, £600. Curtain airbags, £310. That is your Golf GTI. Wheel and tyre information. It says it will come with Bridgestone, Goodyear, Hankook, or a different Bridgestone. You have to check with your dealer what the tyre does come into. I have no problems with any of those tyres. I had Hankooks on my Focus RS edition. It was really, really good. I have Goodyears on my Golf R at the moment, and I've used Bridgestone before. I think they're good tyres. Worth checking with your dealer because it's subjective, and that is one of the most important things that can go with your car. The technical data of the car, just to briefly go through that with you guys. As I mentioned, it's a 2 litre, 195 kilowatts, 370 newton meters of torque between 1600 and 4500 RPM. It weighs gross, what does it say? Unladen is 1.45 tons, which is not too bad for a car in this day and age. It's based on the MQB platform anyway from the Mark 8, from the Mark 7. Those are the dimensions. Electric car, we don't need to worry about that. Performance, it says 5.9 seconds, a top speed of 250 kilometers per hour. So it gets itself going. I believe that's 155 miles an hour. The interior dimensions, the hybrid doesn't matter for us. Standard equipment, obviously you get the 18-inch wheels. The tyres with sporty dynamics, that's interesting. You get a lot of standard, I'll be honest with you. You know, a lot of standard. If you don't want to go over the 40 grand mark, you don't have to have the special paint. You don't have to have the pan roof. You don't have to have the leather. You don't have to have the special wheels. You don't have to go for any of that kind of stuff. You could just have a basic car. Completely basic car. Not even with DCC. And you know what? If you wanted the wheels afterwards, you could buy wheels afterwards and sell the standard wheels, and you wouldn't be above the 40 grand mark. That's my kind of thinking. But there we go. The UK configurator of the Mark 8 Golf GTI is here. This is how we've spec'd it. There's a lot of other cool kind of options you can kind of go with for this car. A few other colours which I liked as well, but I think with a GTI, red works really, really nicely. Interested to know about whether or not you would go for the black on the front as well with the tints. But plenty of options, plenty of customizability with the car. And the big changes I've kind of mentioned before with a Mark 8.5 is the little nip and tuck on the front and sort of like the back with the lights. The main change, as I've constantly always said, is that interior touch, physical buttons now on your steering wheel, and a big 12.9-inch touchscreen with ChatGPT, very intelligent system and quite cool to use. It's a decent sized screen as well. That's the main thing with the facelift, and you do not get a manual option anymore. It's only DSG, and you get the power increase by 20 horsepower, which is not insignificant, by the way. That's a good little amount. I don't believe torque has changed. I just believe the power output has changed on the car. Thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. It's here, and are you going to get one? What do you think? Well, what does this compare to competitors? Focus ST's 280 horsepower. You can get a Civic Type R for about £50,000 as well, with 320 odd horsepower. One of our car I've driven, which is brilliant. You've got Hyundais you can get on the used market. I've got a subscriber lending me one soon to share on the channel. So excited with that. But yeah, comments below. And as I said before, I have a lot of people who watch my content and are not subscribed. If you subscribe, it just enables more opportunities with manufacturers, as that's what they look at. They look at the subscriptions, and it really does help me to produce more content for you all. But thank you so much for watching, and have a great one.